What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Swift video. In today's video, we're going to look at how you can download images from a URL and set them to an image view. We're going to look how to do it manually, and then we're also going to talk about a cool framework that does it for you and pros and cons of using both approach. So if I go ahead and run our project here, you notice we launch, we've got this cool placeholder image, and then it goes ahead and downloads this iOS Academy logo from a URL on a server somewhere. So we're going to figure out how to build this. Now, obviously, this is a pretty common part of a lot of apps, so it's pretty important to understand. That said, make sure you absolutely destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out quite a bit. Hit subscribe while you're at it. Go ahead and open up Xcode, and let's jump right into it. All right, so we're going to get started by opening up Xcode and creating a new project. We're going to stick with a single view application, and I'm going to go ahead and call this project download image. Go ahead and create it and save it wherever you'd like. And we're going to jump right into it. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and pick a simulator up here. So I'm going to go with the 11 Pro Max since I've got it open over here already. And while it's building and doing its thing, let me expand this Xcode window to give ourselves a little more room to work. And it looks like it built over there. Whoops, looks like it actually launched the different OS version, but let that do its thing. And let's go to the view controller. So what I went ahead and did is I grabbed an image from the iOS Academy website. So I'm gonna put a URL string here, and you guys can use the same image. So it's https iosacademy.io assets images brand icon.jpg. And basically what we want to do is we want to show a UI image view on our controller, and we want to load in the image there. So I'm going to create the image view programmatically. Now you can, of course, put it in your storyboard and image view and then connect an outlet to it. It works the exact same. So let's go ahead and create an image view here. So it's going to be a UI image view, and we're going to create it through an anonymous closure. And make sure you put parentheses here. And now in here, we can actually create said image view. Make sure you go ahead and return it in here. And we're also going to set a content mode onto this guy, and that is going to be scale aspect. Let's do fill. And for the time being, let's also go ahead and set a background color to this so we can see it as we add it as a sub view. Now in view did load, you can go ahead and add this guy as a sub view. So we're going to say image view. And actually here, we're going to give this guy a frame. So we're going to say CGRect, and X and Y will be 0 and 0. And we're going to say the width is 200 by 200. And then now down here, we can say image view dot center is our view controller's view centered. So go ahead and hit Command R, and we should now see our red image view here with no image in it, of course. And now we can actually talk about how to fetch the image from the URL. So fetching an image is super, super simple. What we're first gonna do is call a function called fetch image, and we're gonna create that down here just to keep our code clean and modular. And the process of fetching an image basically entails fetching the bytes from a URL, which is represented as data. And then, so we're going to say get data. And then we're going to convert the data to an image, and then set image to image view. So that's the process. So to get the data, we're going to leverage the URL session. So we're going to say let get data task is going to be URL session, and I believe there's a shared on here, and we want to perform a data task with a URL and a completion handler. So if we take a look at the signature here, the first parameter is a URL from which we want to fetch the data, and the completion handler returns data optional, URL response optional, and error optional. So all we really care about in here is the data and the error. So we're going to do an underscore so we can discard this URL response. And we can do that. And then the URL, we're going to pass in URL. So we need to create the URL beforehand. And we're going to create it in a guardlet because the URL constructor, the initializer here, when you create it with a string, it might return optional because the string might be invalid, and the parameter type here was a URL non-optional. And in here, we basically want to ensure that data is not nil. So we're going to say Gartlet data is data. We want to validate that error is nil. And if either of those cases don't hold up, aka data was nil or a error occurred, we're just going to return. Otherwise, we want to say the image that we got back is a UI image, and we're going to create it with data, and we're simply going to pass in the data we got back. And data, once again, is simply bytes. And then finally, we want to say self.imageView, image is image. So there are a few things we still need to do. So the first thing we need to do is this URL session data task occurs on a background thread, this completion handler. The reason it occurs on a background thread is because it's asynchronous and it might take maybe a second or some undeterminate amount of time to fetch the data. So we want to perform these UI updates on the main thread. So if you're not familiar with threading, the dispatch queue, I've got separate videos on these, but we need to wrap these two calls to be on the main call, on the main thread, and we're going to perform them asynchronously. Now we've also defined this get data task, but we need to invoke it by saying get data task.resume. Now this is kind of annoying and misleading. Apple calls this resume, but basically you're starting the task here. So the naming implies that you're resuming it, but you're actually kicking it off. And this should be sufficient to actually go ahead and fetch our image and show it in our image view. The other little thing we can tweak here is we can drop this completion handler, put a closing paren there, and drop this closing paren, and this is now a trailing closure, so it simplifies our code a little bit. And let's see, why is this complaining? Error equals nil is what we want. And go ahead and hit Command R, and we should now see our image loading in here. Now you notice it took a second, but it did in fact load. So let's try a different image now. I think another one that I've got is something like cover.jpg. I could be making that up, we'll see in a second. Yeah, it looks like that's not one of them. Let's try header. I don't remember what images I've got on this website, but definitely have a couple on there. So let's see, let's go to this URL and let's see what we've got. So let me open up Safari and paste that in. And let's see, on here, we've got a header.png, that's what it is. So the type is important. So let's make this a PNG. And let's try this one more time. And we should see that image load in as well. Now notice it overflows our image. It maintains its aspect ratio, but we've said on the image view, the content mode is scale the image and make sure it retains the aspect ratio and fill it. But the reason it's overflowing is because the image is larger. So we can simply say clips to bounds is true. And now you'll notice that it's still going to scale the image, but it's going to clip it. And if we want the image to fit to see the whole thing, we're going to say scale aspect fit. Now this image has a transparent background, which is why we're still seeing the red. But if we drop this red color, you'll see that we see the image with just our normal background. So transparency and all that good stuff is still supported. Now, this other thing that I wanted to do in this video, as I mentioned in the beginning, is this is how to do it manually. And when you download images manually, you're responsible for caching images if you want your application to be performant. Now we're going to bring in a CocoaPod, and that's going to handle this task of downloading and setting images from URLs for us. But I wanted to teach it in a manual sense first and foremost, so you guys get a grasp of the principle at hand. So we're going to cd into our project folder. And in here, we're going to do a pod init. And if you're not familiar with CocoaPod, I suggest you guys take a look at my CocoaPod videos. I've got tons of them. So we're going to do open pod file. And the CocoaPod that we want to go ahead and bring in is called SDWebImage. Super popular, very well known and used. So go ahead and put that there. Make sure you lowercase the p. Close up, whoops. Go ahead and let's see, what do we got going on over here? This is an old one, so we can just minimize that. We don't want that. And let's see, looks like I minimized both of them. So open up that pod file. Make sure you hit Command S on this and Command W to close it. We're gonna do a git, sorry, not git add. We're gonna do a pod install. and give this a second. And you should see a successful installation of SDWebImage. And now we can close up this Xcode project here with the command W. And the reason we're closing it is now we want to open up the workspace. So go ahead and do open, and you want to open up the project name .xc workspace. Now this should have been created when you ran pod install, and this basically integrates your newly installed CocoaPods. So go to your view controller, and if you simply hit Command R, you should still be successfully building and running into the simulator. Nothing should have changed in terms of compiling. So give that a go. It takes a second or two since we brought in dependencies. Everything should still be working. The thing we can do now here is say import SDWebImage. And instead of doing this data task and all of this stuff down here, what you can do is get rid of all of this stuff. And actually, we can probably get rid of this whole function for that matter. And here we can simply say image view SD set image with a URL optional with a completed completion handler. So notice this can take a URL optional as well. So we don't even need to do the guardlet stuff. So here we can just pass in the URL string. And once this is completed, we can do some other tasks, but we're just going to say nil in our case. And this is all we need to do to set an image to our image view from a URL. So you can notice we get the exact same functionality, but now this framework is taking care of things for us. The other cool thing about this is if you open up this constructor again, so we're going to say SD set image. Notice there's an option, well, there's a bunch of options, but the one that I want to call out is the one with a placeholder image. So let's say you're loading in an image with a string, and of course, loading takes some time. You can definitely show a UI image, and we're going to use a system image. And this can be your placeholder while things are loading. So I think photo is one of the ones that's built in. And for options, we are going to pass in, I think this is a dictionary and this is nil. And let's see, what are the options here? So there's avoid auto set image. So there's a bunch of different enum cases. So just go ahead and just pick any of them. I'll just go with that one. Hit Command R. And you'll notice actually when the app launches, it actually shows our image super fast. And the reason that is because this framework is caching our image for us. But if we actually change this now, if we go back to, I think it was icon is what the other one was. You'll notice we see a like a placeholder right there for like half a second while it's loading, and then it shows our image. So it's a much better user experience. And now every time we launch it, the image is already there. It's cached on device for us, so super performant. You don't have to handle any of that complexity yourself. And SDWebImage is a very small framework, so it does not add that much overhead to your app. So that's the other thing I wanted to share. And that's basically how you can bring in images into your app from a URL. So that's it. If you haven't destroyed that like button already, make sure to do so for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to comment down below with any questions, errors, concerns. Hit subscribe while you're at it for daily Swift uploads. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one.